Well, I'm gonna restart. Gonna keep going here now and driving it. I will record, what happened, because it's free stuff, to be driving and recording. So we're gonna record about any changes now. CMP, camshaft position sensor, signal, and ground. I'm using a sensor ground to get a cleaner signal. Right here, I have the injector number 1 current control. You can see here I have same on the screen. A channel, blue channel, equal to crankshaft position signal, camshaft position signal, red, and this is gonna be the green color for the current for different waveforms. Okay, let's go and analyze that one on the screen. Let me pause that one. We have here one event of the can E60 right here, and we can see the injector time. This is a diesel, so they well, this is the bank loads of love E350. They said it barely made it here to the bay here. It's on the shop, and apparently they said the only thing they did to this was replace the fuel filter, because the technician said when he was checking the scan data, he has 3 or 4 coils, he told me, he cannot erase. They basically they get the coils, and the coils just come back right away. Circuit coil for auto sensor and transmission and something else. So we're gonna check those coils, but at the same time he told me it can barely run. And on his scan tool, he said all the 4 auto sensor goes lean when that happened. So he throw a fuel filter, and at the same time he said also the fuel pressure is good, but it doesn't maintain it. It's like the check valve drain. And they stop there, and just gonna go through this process of diagnostic. They have a lot of work to do here on other vehicles, and they want me to go through this one. From this shop for this E250 E250 5.4. They throw the engine filter and whatever they did, a lot of stuff with the scanner, but the vehicle starts fine and runs good. But we got an issue here. Checking your lights on. We're gonna see the diagnostic trouble codes there later. But look at this. The fuel pressure is lost immediately. Right there. Yeah, let's watch this. So I go key on. Boom, immediately. Right there. Turn it off the vehicle, and boom, immediately I lose it. Okay. That seems to be an issue. However, look at this when I do a hard acceleration. Looks like it still can make it. However, the problem is this. Look what happened here. This vehicle is not drivable. It can't move. Look at this. What happened here? Okay, so I accelerate here. But what happened when I put it in gear? Put it in reverse. Look at what happened there. The engine started shaking really bad, and look at this. I will accelerate. Right there, look. Like a plug cut. That seems to be like a plug cut or fuel pressure issue. Right there. Look at my gas pedal. All the way to the floor. And that's what I get. So right now they can't figure out anymore. So they called me for that. They're thinking plug cut. They're thinking about fuel pump. I don't think it's a fuel pump. According to the scanner, it's saying it's sending out on the scan tool is showing the injection pulse is 20 milliseconds per bank 1 and bank 2. However, we're gonna check if that really is getting there to the injectors, because this thing has a lot of lack of power related to. All four sensors are showing, auto sensors are showing lean when I do that. Okay, we're gonna go through that process. So we're going to identify the vehicle now and then go through the process of the diagnostic with the scanner. We have here the diagnostic trouble codes, P1000, P1747, 1760, description not available, contact dealer, where, and heater auto sensor circuit. It's not giving me the description of those codes. When they did that one here, it did it for them, right here. So, that's, well, we're gonna go through these. Apparently it's for the electronic pressure control solenoid valve for the transmission and heater auto sensor circuit. Those are the codes, but we're gonna duplicate customer concern first, lack of power, and we're gonna see those are affecting somehow. When I went directly into the PCM, it just did give me the description of the codes. So now we're gonna start the vehicle and find out, get some data. I'm gonna select the data here. Related to well, when I have lack of power, I like to check for auto sensors to begin with. That's the first thing, to verify if we have a, what do we have. Let me start the vehicle first. I got some data here. Got short-term, long-term fuel trims for all of them. Let me see the fuel status. It says closed loop. It is in closed loop. It is in closed loop. And what happens when I accelerate? The short term here on that one. But good, huh? Closed loop right here. Let's put in gear. What happened when I put in gear? Reverse. Right there. I'm accelerating. That is still in closed loop. The vehicle can't move it. No, it's open loop right now. What I'm saying, my auto sensor, look at all the auto sensors are showing lean. All of them. Let me graph it. Let me graph it. Okay, so we have from here all over, we have the auto sensor here. Three auto sensors got this vehicle. Those three. Put in reverse. Look, peg lean. All of them. All of them. Look, all of them. Put in reverse. See, I will load it right there. A little bit. I'm not loading this thing that much. Barely loading it. Full lean. All of them. Call my attention, short term and long term doesn't seem to be. Oh, but it goes into an open loop. That's why. Okay. That is not valid. Let me see a little bit. Right there, the vehicle really struggles, and it's full lean, all of them. Look, when I release, look what happened when I release. Auto sensor is functional. Auto sensor is functional. This is the one after the cut, I believe. It takes time, but okay. So sure, we're running lean, complete full lean. We know the fuel pressure is not an issue. Well, we have issues there, but it's not causing this. So now let me check for the mass airflow sensor, which is the main input. Mass airflow sensor, and because I was suspecting this thing like a fuel pressure or catalytic converter plug, but for the catalytic converter to be plugged, this thing will go rich, won't go lean, because that's the symptom we have. Look at this. When we put it in gear, look what happened. That's what I get, like plug cut or fuel pressure. So we're going lean, so it doesn't go toward catalytic converter at this point for me. Let's get some data for the mass airflow sensor, injection pulse, and other parameters there. Well, what we have right now is related to, it's not a plug cut for sure. We have fuel delivery issues. Is that because the mechanical fuel pressure is not getting there, or we have fuel contamination, or we have some type of injectors are not opening? So we're gonna check the computer command to open the injector and mass airflow sensor now. I have the data relevant now to the problem we have. So barometric pressure 149 seems to be like kind of low for me, because we're at the sea level, a little bit low for the mass airflow sensor. Keep in mind that one. We have a code for those, so that's why I got those selected for the electronic pressure control. Misfire detected, no. We're gonna see. This is what I'm most interested in right now, these two. Pay attention to those two. So what is the pulse? What is the command? Is the computer descending out? Injection pulse. Oh, this is weird how this one shows this one, you know, like the values here, because this is showing in seconds. So that means this is 1 second, 100.05. So we are about 5 milliseconds right now. So that is weird how this one shows. It doesn't show milliseconds, it shows in seconds. But anyway, we gotta see about 15 here. Right there, about 20. See, 02, about 20. The computer is sending about 20 milliseconds. Right now we're at 5 milliseconds. 8. The command is there. You graph this thing right there. We're gonna graph it. See, the computer is sending the command for the it's sending the command, the computer, to open the injectors. About 20 milliseconds. It said injector no fault, mass airflow sensor, gram per second, and I have it in pounds, so I don't want it in pounds. I wanted to see in gram per seconds, you know, but this one is having weird, you know, like, do I have a way to change those? Let me see if I have a way to change those. Well, at least I make this one to go for gram per second right there. I make that one to go for gram per second, so we're gonna accelerate. Yeah, looks like it's responding. Voltage too, and my throttle position is showing a close throttle there. Wide open throttle, watt. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with loaded with gear. Put in gear, reverse. Look at the gram per second. This is something I'm very interested in now. Okay, gram per second. Yeah, good. About 20 gram per second. I'm not moving the vehicle. I'm just putting reverse, you know, and it's quite open throttle, you see. And yep, I get response there in voltage. So it seems like the master flow sensor is working, and the computer is sending about 20 milliseconds, over 20 millisecond command. So why? So the fuel is not getting there mechanically. So we're gonna proceed to my next test will be to do in cylinder pressure transducer, do a injector pulse spark, and in cylinder. So I wanted to see what was missing inside the cylinder. So we're gonna see what happened inside the cylinder. Is everything getting there? Do we have the on time the spark? Do we have the injection pulse on time? Do we have a plug cut? Do we have the right amount of injection pulse? The scanner is saying the computer is commanding about 20% of gram per second, I mean like millisecond. We're gonna check all of those. Oh, but prior to doing that, I would like to check for those coils too. What happened with those coils? I'm gonna do a little bit of test on those coils. Well, I wanted to check the cylinder, the power balance test. Place in reverse. Well, I did have it in reverse. See, we're gonna clear the history. Load it. All cylinders except one. Look, that one is now misfiring. But look, I heard a change. So these two are swapping. Look at this, and these two also. Look at this one. It just moved. These two are not misfiring. Now we swap again. These are misfiring. These two not. So the misfire, it changes. You know, like something in the computer is doing something, turning off cylinders or turning off an injector or doing something spark. For this weird thing, I would like to check cam and crank first. See if how is the signal for the cam and crank. Now we're gonna try to duplicate customer concern. Lack of power, barely moves. But look at this here. That's caught my attention. Look at right here. Where's that glare? Right there. Look at this. Key on. Okay, and it drops immediately. Huh. And move this one a little bit out of the way here. Okay, so that means the fuel pump can handle the check valve. But is that gonna be my problem? Okay, so let me start the vehicle. There. So I have it in park. Accelerate hard. See what happens with the filter. The pump can handle that, but now let's duplicate customer concern. Do a power brake. Let's do a power brake and figure out. Look at this. Gotta do a power brake, reverse, got it in reverse, and look at what happened here. Vehicle can't move like that. So, well, because we have this, let me we're gonna do a check it the volume, check the volume of because we have good pressure, but check out the volume, see what happened with the volume here. Drop to 0, but the engine stay running. I don't think it's gonna be this is a problem for sure, but it's not causing this vehicle that lack of power, because otherwise this vehicle will shut down the engine here. Look how much fuel I got here, and the engine stay running. Okay, so this is an issue, but it's not the cause of right now of this problem. So let's look at some data. So go for data first. Now I have connected the cam and crank on channel A and channel B. So we're gonna do a cam and crank correlation here. Let me stop this one. Start the vehicle. Okay, we're gonna stop that one and analyze this wafer. El transductor viene directo de Ucrania. Vamos a ver. Bueno, ahorita lo vamos a calar aquí en un carro. Tengo uno aquí ahorita donde lo voy a calar. Pues yo le agregué algo más aquí, otras cositas. Tengo dos transductores aquí. Y vamos a ver ahorita a ver cómo me va aquí. Vamos a ver cómo me va aquí con las pruebas que voy a hacer. I have here the picoscope, and I'm gonna be doing 3 channels. Here I have the spark for the same cylinder, so I'm connecting the same cylinder, 1, 2, 3, 4, cylinder 4, and then I will have the injector on a different channel, and I will also have the in-cylinder pressure transducer. I wanted to check what is going on inside the cylinder. Pressure, do we have any restriction there on the exhaust? With the pressure transducer, which is here, connected here, we can find out all of those timing in relation to spark, injection pulse, and also find out if the cat is plugged, because this vehicle has a lack of power. So we're gonna go through this process now and find out what's wrong. We're gonna analyze the capture. As we can see, the diagnostic trouble codes are here, and these are the codes we have, and this vehicle has a severe lack of power. We cannot erase those codes, and the vehicle that doesn't even move from his own. So I'm trying to move this vehicle and I can't. So I got a fuel pressure gauge there too, because we have a lack of power, and I'm gonna go through the next process. The first thing I'm gonna do here is a clear flag mode, and then after that one I will start the vehicle in having idle and do a power brake. So as it is right now, I'm gonna be cranking the engine and take the capture and analyze it. Mínima. Lo que pasa cuando cargo el... We're placing in reverse here, load the vehicle, and take the capture. I will do a wide open throttle now and look at the engine, how it shakes, and the fuel pressure is maintained, wide open throttle, and the engine, this vehicle doesn't even move from his own. And well, the capture is going to be here, and now we're going to analyze this one and find out what's going on, why it's not running this engine. Let's go through those captures now. Let's analyze what happened here. In this portion right here, basically the first portion here, right here to right here, I have the key on only, and then I crank it, and in this position here, in this area here, I'm just barely only cranking. Okay, so we can find out on the green trace, I got like 69, 160 something compression here on this area. And now we're gonna go through. Let's go through here when the engine is running idle. This portion here is idle. Remember, this vehicle in idle works fine, no issues. Okay, so what we're looking for here, see my spark is going through fine. It's advanced before the peak TDC right here. The only one is calling my attention right now is Yeah, it looks like it's going on the middle, the injection pulse, on the middle of the exhaust pulse. Should be here on the exhaust, but I think that one is not a big issue. My issue comes here. Right here comes my issue. Okay, so then I started accelerating this vehicle without, I accelerated without loading the vehicle. I am in neutral. What area is that? This area here. Right here. This portion here. On that area, we're gonna do a zoom on that one. And I got like 150 psi, and see, I only have one I only have right now, and it's advanced, the spark, and I only have well, I got three pulses now still. I got 3 pulses still, only three spark events. And my injection pulse is there. Okay, so it doesn't seem like my catalytic converter is plugged. Seems to be right here on the bottom. See those areas, looks fine. Right there, it looks fine. No problem. And now I place it in reverse and see what happened here. This area here. Right here. Pay attention on this area here. Right here we lost the injection pulse. Look, that is our problem. The scanner is saying the computer sent a command for 23 milliseconds. Where are they? Right here, they are not here. You do a zoom on this area. Right here, we still, have the injection pulse, and we lose it all the way here. My compression start increasing, and find out about my spark. See, my spark is there. It's a little bit like right on time, and my compression is about 186 at this point. Excuse me. And but I don't have any injection pulse. I don't have, the computer is not commanding the injectors, but my voltage there, 30.5 volts pretty much, 13.8 volts, and 0 command for the injection pulse. How it comes? Right here we had it, and then I release the throttle, and you will see the compression slows down, and then I get back. It's cutting out my injection. That's why we're lean, complete lean. Another thing we can see here, because this vehicle got a severe lack of power, like a fuel pump or something out of time, I was wondering about the catalytic converter too. But look at the catalytic converter. It's pretty good here. We have basically not right here. We have 0 back pressure. Look, right there, 0 psi. Barely this thing is nothing, basically. Right there. Less than 2 psi, wide open throttle. So, we have no issue here. Catalytic converter is not plugged. It's not the reason why we have lack of power. The reason if we don't have injection pulse. That's the reason. Okay, we gotta go through more diagnostic procedures, and we're gonna figure out what's wrong here. Why do we don't have the injection pulse? Mass airflow sensor, CKP and CMP. Those are the main stuff the computer needs. The crank position sensor and the cam position sensor are needed in sync in order to send the signal out for control. So we're gonna go through that process now. we're gonna start troubleshooting this. I'm suspecting about any wiring to be shorting out or the computer to be faulty. So we're gonna start with this O2 sensor here on the heater side, because that's the code we have here for the O2 sensor. So I got connected one end of the test light to ground, and should illuminate on both sides, indicating at least, yeah, it is in good condition, that the heater portion. But look at this here. So one of these should have power for the heater. This should be the power side to the heater. But why do we have on the ground? See, we have on both. We shouldn't. So because we have for the transmission too, I thought maybe something shorting out, so I unplugged these connectors and nothing happened until I unplugged this one. If I unplug this, the short goes away. I'll show you that. Okay, now look at that one. Okay, so when I disconnect this one here, what happened? You can see the reflex there from the light. Is that O2 sensor shorted here? What's going on here? So we gotta dig deep into that one. But at the same time, I wanted to check this code. I'm gonna check the resistance on this code for the transmission pressure sensor. So I have here the printout EPC solenoid. A transmission should be pin 4 red and 6 white yellow. So that one will be the power. Pin 81 at the computer, because I'm gonna check complete up to the computer. I'm gonna check that now. Now I have the two common wires going into the EPC solenoid. This is the power side, the red common power side to all of them, and this is the one is coming the control from the computer. So I got my key off right now, and I haven't unplugged anything, and we can see there it's 5.2 ohms. So at this point, that means there is continuity from here, and it is in good condition from here up to the transmission. We're gonna check it now at pin 81 at the computer now and find out if we have any open or something from here to the computer. I'm suspecting this computer is bad already. Identify that one on the computer, the pin 81 I think it is, right here, to be the yellow with a white color. So I have that one here. I'm gonna be checking resistance right now. Then it's off. It's off the key. So we're gonna be checking on that one. The resistance now. Again, I got the meter inside, so we're gonna go inside and find out how is it going. So you see, I got on the common on the red here, and we have the same 5.1 ohms. So that means my wiring and my solenoid is in good condition, because we are in between specs. So at this point, check powers and ground to the computer. I won't show that one, and that's gonna be first step to replace that one. Here is the new computer is installed there. So I gotta disconnect that one and connect the old computer, so that way we can transfer the information from here and do a parameter reset. This new computer came for a 4.6 engine, and this one is a 5.4. Our vehicle is 5.4. We can see here the engine is 5.4. Okay, let's go through the process now. Now they just replaced the computer, the PCM, but the vehicle is not working properly. At least, you know, this is working right now. Put in reverse, loaded. Look at this now. Reverse. Now it is, huh? Now it's responding. Now cutting out the pulse injection, and they have these diagnostic trouble codes here, right here. Okay, so we're gonna go through the process of programming something here on the computer. We're gonna connect the IDS and go through that process. So we got the IDS hooked up right now, the BCM2, and we're gonna change the parameters now. Replace the computer already, so what we're gonna do at this point is retake the capture. So I got the same 3 channels in cylinder, spark, injection pulse, and then let me see, I'm gonna do a clear flood mode first. Okay, release, do a clear flood mode again, right there. There's an idle. Now I'm gonna put it in reverse, loader. We're losing there the injection pulse. Idle. And turn it off. And then we're gonna save this capture and analyze it upside.